I feel very sorry for the situation which Hong Kong is in because they are a city with a lot of talent, a lot of enterprise, a lot of potential. They are right on the doorstep of China. And China has really been a backstop for them, which enable them to grow and to overcome many economic rough spots. But at the same time, they are part of China, and this is a big psychological change, which is not easy for the population to get used to. And there are also issues within Hong Kong which are quite fundamental, social issues like housing. Fundamentally, it's a question of hope for the future, for the young people. And if these are not radically addressed, I think it is very difficult to overcome the problems.
Are you surprised that the Chinese government has not shut down the protests in Hong Kong using force?
No, I don't think so. I don't think the Chinese government caused this to happen. I think that they are now confronted with this frog in their hands, and what do I do with it? I'm uncomfortable, it's a problem, but if I do the wrong thing, I may make things a lot worse. And I think they're very conscious of that. They hope that the Hong Kongers can sort it out, but the chief executive has a very difficult task.
Singapore sits in a very uneasy situation. You are very close to China, your economy is increasingly influenced by China, and yet you have been a very staunch American ally. How difficult is this trade war between the United States and China for you?
We see that as a problem for us, but in fact it's a problem for the world. All of us have depended on stable US-China relations and increasingly close US-China economic cooperation, investments, trade, as well as flows of talent and ideas. And the way things are going now, that benign trend is being disrupted and perhaps even turned around. And I think that's bad for the world.
You met with President Trump. Did you convey to him the fear that I hear, at least in Asia, that America is withdrawing, that by rejecting the Trans-Pacific Partnership, it's ceding the field to China? And does he get that?
I don't think America is withdrawing. I don't think that is a perception, because America is engaging China very, very actively. I mean, it's not a happy engagement right now, but it's not pulling out from the field. I think what we would like to see in Asia is the United States engaged actively not only with China, but with also the other Asian countries in Southeast Asia and East Asia, even for that matter in South Asia, and cooperatively, constructively, to enable these countries to have economic links with China at the same time as they have economic links and other links with the United States. And if US-China relations are not stable and not amicable, it's much harder for all of us to do that. We will be pressured very hard to choose sides, and it will be a very painful choice.
For most countries in Asia, if they have to choose between America and China, what will they do?
I think they will be very unhappy, because all of your allies and many of your partners, so you look at Japan, Korea, Philippines, Australia, New Zealand, Thailand, all treaty allies, all of them have China as their biggest trading partner. So if you ask them to choose and say, I therefore must cut off my links with my biggest trading partner, I think you will put them in a very difficult position. We are not an ally, we are a close partner of the United States, but we also have our biggest trading links with China, bigger than with the United States.
What do you think the world of technology is going to look like if the United States continues on the path the Trump administration is, which is, banning Huawei, fearing that there is going to be, the Chinese technology will have within it a kind of espionage component? Will you end up with a bipolar world of two technology systems?
It is heading in that direction. I think if you take this attitude, it cannot stop with Huawei, because basically you don't trust them. And you have reason to doubt whether everything can be taken at face value. By the same token, they are unable to trust you. And they will ask, why do we allow your operating systems, your chips, your technology to rule our economy? Or and we become hostage to you. So if you go in this way, you must end up bifurcated across a wide range of things in terms of technology, in terms of systems, and the rest of us carrying 2 handphones is the least of our problems.
Can you, how difficult is it for you to navigate? Because presumably you will again be asked to choose. You'll have to choose an American supply chain technologically or a Chinese supply chain.
And the Americans are asking people to choose. They're asking their partners around the world to not choose the Chinese systems.
And what is the response been?
Well, if we look at the responses, some partners have agreed to cooperate with the Americans. Others have concluded that this is a very big ask.
Most have said no, right?
Well, they haven't quite put it like that.
Prime Minister, pleasure to have you on.
Thank you.